The world's 10 most shocking traditions for women, Part 2. You thought the first part was unbelievable? Just wait. In this episode, we're uncovering even more traditions that push the limits of what women endure around the globe. From customs that demand complete sacrifice to rituals that defy logic, these stories will challenge everything you thought you knew. Get ready for Part 2 of the world's 10 most shocking traditions for women. What you're about to see will astonish you even more. Let's dive in. Top 5. The tragedy of female genital mutilation. In parts of Africa, an ancient and brutal practice continues to shatter the lives of women. Female genital mutilation, FGM, spanning over 4,000 years. This devastating tradition is still carried out in over 50 countries, including Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan. Shockingly, in some areas, it affects up to 80% of women. Advocates claim it upholds cultural values, reduces sexual assault risks, and preserves chastity, but the truth is far darker. FGM inflicts excruciating pain, lifelong trauma, and permanent physical damage. Women endure infections, cysts, tetanus, hepatitis, and even fatal complications. In Kenya's Wakal region, 30% of women suffer severe post-procedure illnesses. This is not protection, it's oppression. FGM strips women of their dignity and violates their most basic rights. It's a cruel reminder of how far we still have to go in ending these practices. It's time to speak up. It's time to fight. This isn't tradition, it's a tragedy, and the world cannot remain silent. Top 4. The painful legacy of foot binding in ancient China. In ancient China, a practice that symbolized beauty left countless women in a lifetime of pain and suffering, foot binding. For over 800 years, this cruel tradition forced women into submission, distorting their feet to meet a twisted societal ideal. Starting as young as 6 years old, girls were subjected to this brutal ritual. Their feet were soaked in a mixture of herbs and animal blood to soften the muscles. Then, their toes, except for the big toe, were forcefully broken and bent underneath the sole. Strips of cloth, soaked in medicinal solutions, were used to bind their feet tightly, ensuring they remained unnaturally small. This process was repeated daily, with the bindings tightened further to keep the feet at a desired size of just 4 to 6 inches. The agony was unimaginable. These young girls endured years of constant pain as their feet were reshaped into a deformed, elegant appearance. Walking became a struggle. Many women could only move with assistance, relying on family members to support them. Every step brought excruciating pain, leaving them helpless and entirely dependent. The consequences were far-reaching. Women with bound feet were unable to protect themselves or escape danger, as even a slight increase in speed caused unbearable agony. Some argue the practice wasn't just about beauty. It was a method of control. By crippling women, society rendered them powerless, ensuring they could not rebel or assert independence. It reduced them to prisoners of their own bodies, enslaved by tradition and societal expectations. Even today, the scars of foot binding remain. Elderly women in rural China still carry the deformities caused by this horrific practice. Their feet, once deemed beautiful, now stand as a haunting reminder of the pain and oppression they endured. This wasn't beauty, it was torture. Foot binding exemplifies the lengths society has gone to control women, turning their suffering into an expectation. It's a tragic chapter in history that must never be forgotten. How could so much pain be celebrated as elegance? Let this serve as a stark reminder of the cost of blind traditions. Top 3. Morocco's Bride Market. In the heart of Morocco, deep within the Atlas Mountains, lies one of the world's most intriguing and controversial traditions, the bride market. Every September, during the Musulm festival, families gather in this unique marketplace, where marriage proposals replace courtships, and the search for a life partner begins in earnest. Dressed in vibrant clothing, adorned with veils and round headdresses, women present themselves to potential suitors. Widows, dressed more solemnly, often hold an advantage, as they're considered experienced in family life and skilled at pleasing their husbands. Men, too, prepare meticulously, bathing, changing clothes, and readying themselves to leave the best possible impression. The rules are simple. A man who finds a woman he admires can strike up a conversation. And if she reciprocates, they hold hands, a symbolic first step toward marriage. With the consent of both families, the couple can embark on a courtship or proceed directly to signing a marriage application. Officiated by a government representative, the tradition doesn't discriminate. Unmarried women, widows, and even young girls as young as 12 can participate. While the legal age for marriage in Morocco is 16, local customs allow younger girls to join, often leading to shocking scenes of underage participants. This 3-day event is steeped in rituals. On the first day, men offer gifts to express their intentions. If the woman accepts, she returns the favor the following day. On the third day, the couple completes the ceremony with a symbolic act, bathing 7 times to purify themselves and mark the beginning of their married life. While this tradition may seem romantic or practical to some, it raises questions about choice, equality, and the role of women in such customs. Is it a celebration of love or a relic of a past where women had little say in their futures? This bride market stands as both a fascinating glimpse into Moroccan culture and a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding traditions in the modern world. Top 2. Jewelry is more precious than clothes. India, a land of vibrant culture and breathtaking beauty, hides a stark reality: the obsession with gold that defines its women's lives. Indian women, celebrated for their natural elegance, delicate features, and unique charm, share one striking commonality: they adorn themselves with glittering gold and silver, turning jewelry into a symbol of status, prosperity, and tradition. In Hindu culture, gold represents wealth and divine blessings. For rich and poor alike, wearing gold is seen as a way to honor the gods and hope for a better life. But the divide between the wealthy and the impoverished tells a darker story. Wealthy women flaunt extravagant gold jewelry at festivals, while those in the slums can barely afford gold-plated iron. Many families, desperate to keep the tradition alive, will sell everything they own to buy cheap jewelry for their daughters. The obsession begins at birth, with families saving for years to prepare a dowry of gold for their daughters' marriages. Even in extreme poverty, women in India are expected to wear jewelry, often resorting to wood or plastic imitations that mimic the shine of real gold. Walking the streets, it's common to see women adorned with glittering earrings and golden nose rings. Even if they are clothed in tattered garments, this cultural fixation comes at a cost. Despite their love for gold, women in India face deep inequality. Many are treated as commodities, their lives defined by their dowry or their appearance. Without gold, a woman risks being judged as rude or unworthy in society. India's obsession with gold is a bittersweet tradition, a dazzling symbol of beauty and faith that simultaneously highlights the stark injustices faced by its women. It's a reminder that even the most radiant traditions can cast long shadows. How much longer must women bear the weight of gold to earn their place in society? Top 1. The long-necked women of Thailand and Burma. In the remote borderlands of Thailand and Burma lies the story of the long-necked women. A tale of beauty, tradition, and sacrifice. Known as the Kayan tribe, these women carry the weight of their identity, literally, around their necks, adorning heavy brass rings from as young as 5 years old. These rings are not just ornaments but a lifetime commitment, a symbol of their culture, and a test of patience and endurance. The ritual begins with a ceremony celebrating the little girls in their villages. Each year, the rings increase in number and weight, some reaching a staggering 20 kilograms by adulthood. These rings don't actually lengthen the neck but instead press down the shoulders and collarbone, creating the illusion of an elongated neck, a beauty standard deeply rooted in their beliefs. To the Kayan people, these rings represent more than beauty. They are a connection to their ancestors, believed to be descendants of dragons and phoenixes. The rings mimic the image of the mythical dragon and serve as protection. Originally meant to shield women from wild animal attacks when men went out hunting. Over generations, the practice transformed into a sacred tradition, passed down from mother to daughter. But these rings are not without cost. Simple acts like looking up, bending over, or moving freely become challenges. The rings limit their mobility, making daily life a careful balancing act. Despite this, they remain symbols of pride and faith. Removed only 3 times in a woman's life, during marriage, childbirth, and death. Today, these women have become a spectacle for tourists, drawing countless visitors eager to glimpse this unique tradition. However, the attention has done little to improve their lives. Instead, the rings that define their beauty and culture have become shackles, trapping them in poverty and exploitation. Their story is one of resilience, but also a poignant reminder of the price paid for tradition. And so, our exploration of the world's most fascinating and extraordinary traditions draws to a close. From acts of breathtaking beauty to profound sacrifices, which story resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. If you're captivated by the wonders of culture and human resilience, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for more incredible stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep discovering.